No, I understand like why One Piece it's One Piece. Like you can't like diminish it. It's huge. It's everywhere. Like there is good stories. There's great art too that comes out from it. It's just really long. And it's a lot. I get it. I get it.
The good thing is and what we've all learned is it's not a race to watch it. It is a lot of episodes, but that doesn't
when
mean
people
you
are
need to
like,
finish
"Oh,
it
I'm in
right
the
away.
700s or I'm in the 500s," and I'm like, "That's so crazy."
Okay, but like, say you take your favorite show of all time, right?
must
Something
be
that you
insane.
love. There's no problems with it, and it ends. It's awful because you wish you just had more of it. This is one of those shows that like,
Which is crazy because of how long it is. Like you're not the only person. Y'all are not the
It's
only
the
people
gift
that
that
keeps
keeps
on
on
giving.
giving.
Like y'all are not the only people that are like, "Oh my God, once like I end an episode, I need more." And I was like,
yes,
that's called an addiction.
100%.
It is.
Oh,
We're all
It is.
100%.
I wait weekly for
I
my
know when
dose.
he was showing me the studio and there was all the One Piece stuff. I was like, "Oh no, I don't think they're gonna like me."
We're good.
You're like, Bleach, we're good. Welcome back to the Anime Alchemist podcast. My name is Emery.
My name is Gary.
My name's Martine.
Today we are joined by our very good new friend, Miss Ellen. I forgot your last name. Evans. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for coming on today.
No, thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Ellen is kind of an old friend of mine. We've known of each other, I guess. We've had a lot of like similar friends and like friend groups and stuff. But I reached out to her because I know that she is actually in the voice acting industry. And we wanted to invite her on the podcast to come and talk anime basically. you know?
Just nerd out today. Like that's
Absolutely.
literally it.
It's the best thing, nerd out about all these anime.
Before we dive in all that, it is episode 98. Appreciate you guys for listening or watching. Make sure you guys tune in on all our other episodes. We have some big news. We are creeping up on episode 100 to kind of like celebrate that. We're going to go live on YouTube and TikTok. And we're also going to open it up more to the public. So if you guys join our Discord, we're going to have it also playing on there. So, me taking some calls, maybe some, I don't know, different theories or...
Just a lot of surprises, I guess. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. We will announce once we know the exact time. That way everybody can join in. And so look out for that.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some anime.
A lot.
Yeah, let's talk about some anime.
To be honest, there's not much to know. So spoiler warning. Anything goes.
Spoiler warning for anime in general. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we don't know what we're
covered
about to talk about.
So to just kind of like help us get to know you and like the audience get to know you, I guess the first big question is like, what got you into anime?
Oh gosh, I knew you guys were gonna ask that. I'm like, did I even write that down? No. I guess. Ooh, where do I start? Do I start like when I was a kid or like how I got in the industry? I guess as a kid. So I started watching anime when I was like 6 years old. So like when Adult Swim was around.
Oh yeah.
So I'm the youngest in my family and all my siblings are nerds and they're super into anime. So they would watch Adult Swim and I would just join them in like the game room. And they were just like watching like Samurai Champloo and Inuyasha and Trinity Blood and all these animes. And I was like, oh, these are really cool. Like, what kind of art is this? And then I got really enveloped into it. And I always stuck to anime and manga as a kid and throughout like middle school and high school. And then I've always done acting since I was like a kid as well. And I primarily did like musical theater. And
Is that how you like are friends
yeah,
with
so
Martine?
we went to like neighboring high schools and our theater departments did
Like
a joint play with another high school. And it was
The Seagull.
The Seagull.
Yeah. You reminded me.
A
You
very
said.
old play that's so long. It's in 3 acts. And so each high school did an act.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a cool concept. So like that's how like we all met. So you were at Morton Ranch,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah,
was at
we were the
Morton.
May Creek kids and then there was like Seven Lakes kids. And so we did like a joint play for some reason. And so that's
crazy.
how I know Martine.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to give a lot of people like the opportunity to try different roles out, and it was cool because we got to see like one character be played by 3 different actors, and it was
Yeah,
just,
so you
like,
got to see how that happens as
Yeah,
well.
it was
Of like
pretty
how
unique.
people we're high schoolers, so like how they took on the role as well.
Gotcha. Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
exactly.
So, and then I got into voice acting through radio. So I actually started doing radio voice acting in 2013. So I worked for 104.1 KRBE. So I used to work for them for 10 years. And
if you're local to Houston, you know the radio.
You know, that's
yeah, the Roy Show, the Roses.
That's
Everybody
so
knows
cool.
that. And so when I was in high school, I was like very focused into theater. And my dad worked in radio for 30 plus years and worked at KRB for his last, I think, like 8 years. So when I graduated high school, he's like, do you want to work at the station? And like, mind you, I got called like a radio baby. So like, I knew like all the radio people. So I was like, no, I don't really care for radio. Like, it's so lame. And like, I don't care and whatever. It's Rilla and Ryan. No, like, don't take offense to that. I do love them. But, yeah, I just didn't really like care for it. And so I did like an internship with them and then I got hired on. I was like, really? You're hiring me? Like, I'm some dumb 18-year-old. Like, it's legal. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was with them for 10 years. And then our production, oh God, his name is Yo J. And he called me into his studio and he handles all like the commercials in the studio. It was like, hey, can you do like a 30-second blurb for us for like one of our clients? And I was like, sure. So I did that. And then that's how I built up my reel over the years. So I just mainly did like radio.
And you got to like fine tune, like, you know, the voice acting basically.
Yeah, definitely. And so sometimes like some people are like, I can hear your radio voice. And I was like, yeah, it comes out a little bit sometimes. It's almost like customer service based and almost a little happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to have like a lot of energy.
This is a facade. Like,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that makes so much sense for me because like I was trying to do some homework before you got here.
yeah.
And one of your links like tries to give you like all your info about you and
the
like
backstage
the backstage page.
Yeah.
And so much of it was like voice acting type radio style. I'm like, what? Okay, that's a thing. But like it kept popping up several times. So like now I'm glad I
Now it
understand
makes
where
sense.
that. Yeah.
The KRB.
Yeah, because I put a bunch of my commercials on there. So
Oh.
I just had those just listed on there. So if anybody wanted to hire me for anything, they knew I could do. Because like radio voice acting, it's very simple. It's not as scripted as like anime voice acting or as directed. So whenever I was doing radio voice acting, it was just like, just smile a bunch. Like you can hear it in your voice and maybe go a little bit higher of like, kind of like, I mainly did the, hey kids, do you want to be on shows like Disney or Nickelodeon?
Yo.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I remember hearing that commercial so many times.
I did that one a couple times. Me and another girl would flip flop.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so badass.
Yeah, that's wild.
It only took like the first 2 words. I'm like, I know that commercial.
Yeah, it's just in your face, like you're listening to music and it's like, hey kids, and it's like, oh
Yeah,
my
it's like
God.
right away. But it does the job though because it has like that excitement behind it that
Yeah,
would
it's
get like
like-
any kid to
Immediately
Yeah.
unplugged.
do it.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
Like
What?
Zendaya or Tom Holland and like, you know, like Marvel and
Yes.
Disney and
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Very
you're really
annoying.
good at that.
I'm glad I don't have the headphones in because I'd be like, oh God.
Oh, I'm fully immersed right now.
He got transported.
No,
He's
it
loving
does
it.
take
He's
people
like, "This is
to another
crazy."
dimension because whenever I do mention that, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's you. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Yeah, so that's where I got into voice acting. And then, of course, during the pandemic, you weren't able to like do anything stage wise. So it was not safe to do that. And I was doing some commercial stuff here and there, like some sleeping apps. Like I've auditioned for those and done some of those, but they're like not like the big ones that you see on like apps. It's like very small ones that like people do starter ups. But
Like, is that the ones that like read you something like to fall asleep? Or
yeah,
something?
stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just to make like a quick buck or like maybe a small audiobook entry or whatever.
That's still cool. Like if I had the voice for it,
Yeah.
I'd go out and do a million different
Yeah.
things. Just like see what's out there.
Yeah.
Be good at reading out loud.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. So how and then that translates into anime as well. So my good friend Mark Zamora, shout out to him. Him and I worked at KRBE together, and he runs a studio called Lucky Run Studios here in Houston. So he's records a bunch of artists here, like Solange and many other famous people as well. And yeah, free advertisement, whatever.
No, go wait for it.
And so he'd have like his birthday there. And so one birthday he was like, hey, my friend Jonathan does anime. You should meet him. I was like, that's really vague. Like just does anime.
Yeah, like, what does that mean? Because we all know how much is
okay,
in the
is he
umbrella
just
of anime.
into anime or does he do like indie stuff? This is whatever. I was like, yeah, I'll meet your friend. He's like, here's his email. And it said at Sentai Filmworks. And I was like, do you not know like the significance of the studio?
Yeah,
and
facts.
he's like, no, I don't watch anime. And I was like,
Okay.
The first you're missing
okay,
out.
cool, got it. So then I met him and like he's one of my best friends. And so he's an audio engineer at Sentai Filmworks. And he's like, we're talking about anime and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll send you like my reels and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'll send them over and see what I can send to directors. And I was like, cool. So then I didn't hear anything for months until February of last year. I got just a random phone call from our lovely receptionist, Paul. And he's like, is this Miss Ellen Evans? I was like, yes. I was like, are you Paul? And he's like, I am. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like a celebrity to us. And so he was like, you got booked for a show. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like, when do you want me to come in? It's like whenever you're available. So then I went in and I recorded a couple episodes for a show. My first show was Irodoku. I think that's what it was called. It's like a smaller, kind of like slice of life magical anime. It's basically about a girl who's colorblind and gets transported into like her grandmother's time when her grandmother was in high school. And her grandmother was in a photography club. And there's this boy that like has illustration. It's like magic and stuff as well. So like the illustrations come to life, but she can see the colors like in his illustration.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was really
cool.
Sounds
cute.
awesome, yeah.
It was very cute.
Cool.
Okay.
So that was my first anime to record.
Cool.
And I've been there for a year and a half now.
I have a quick
Nice.
question. And
Yeah.
It actually ties into like, you know, you getting cast for that first anime. So
Uh-huh.
it seems like it's very different. And we actually kind of talked about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
How like, it's not necessarily where you immediately go and audition for like anime that you're interested in. It's kind of like, hey, we booked you for this one because we've heard like your voice and we think you'd be a good fit for this role, right?
Yeah,
So is
that's
that
how
kinda it works?
that's how the directors work at Sentai. I don't know if this is how all anime studios are, especially with Crunchyroll or anything in LA. But yeah, so the directors like they work obviously directly with the actors and they get to know your voice a lot. If you do a lot of like walla, so like background characters, so they get to hear your voice a lot. And if it's like a good fit, they'll like cast you. With auditioning for shows, I know we talked about that. If you get called in for an audition, that's usually ties into the Japanese studio.
Oh.
So the Japanese studio has like a first say of who they want for their characters because they want the similarity of the Japanese voice actors with the American voice actress or actor or whatever to have that similarity, which is very interesting. That I've had a couple auditions like that. It's cool. Like it's nice to hear from the director that's doing the auditions. Like, yeah, I would like to cast you as this, but again, it's not up to me, it's up to them. And I was like, that's fine. Even if I get to be a part of the show, doing background characters or playing a fish or whatever, like it's just fun to just be in that studio and get to like act fun and silly.
And be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Still, yeah, to be able to like turn when it's like out and be like, hey, that was me.
Yeah,
That
for-
fish over there. Right.
There was I played, oh my god, what was it? And I'm also in Yersei Yatsuda, so I was playing my characters he told me, but I played another little mini character and it was a space vase and it made like little like wah 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 noises. And I like announced when the show came out that episode, I was like, I played a little space vase, and people were like, who were in the show were like, oh, that was you? Oh my God, I went to the studio and that was so cute. I was like, yeah, that's me. So it's as simple as like getting
I love
that
that.
joy of like playing silly characters
Yeah.
as much as possible, especially in multiple episodes too.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of fun because you get to try really unique styles of like voices, you know, not
Yeah.
something that you do normally in like a regular TV show or something, right?
Yeah.
Because it's anime, there's talking faces sometimes, you know, like
Yeah.
it can be a lot of random things and you get to experiment, I bet. So that has got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and mostly with voice acting, it's just your regular voice most of the time.
Oh.
Sometimes if the director will give you like that direction of like maybe do something a little more regal, maybe a little bit more like vocal fry or anything, like they'll give you that direction. But 9 times out of 10, it's just
Oh, it's
usually
just like-
your voice just a little different.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, honestly, because when you start like looking at a lot of other voice actors, we always kind of pinpoint like, oh, hey, that's that character from this show,
Right,
or
you
that
can
character
tell
from the other show.
who's who.
But it kind of fits like the types of characters that they play, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Definitely.
Okay.
that makes sense. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I'm just blown away that like I'm still honestly stuck on the whole Disney Channel thing.
Oh my god.
I'm never gonna live that
Martine.
down.
100%.
I never got the reel from that one, so I'm kind of sad. I wish I got it. Maybe I'll do it again
You could
one day.
always
Who
re-record
knows?
it.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yo, Jay, we need a part 2. I don't know. Do we even still do that? We'll see.
Like, kids, we're still looking.
Oh my god.
No, one of the other things that we wanted to ask you too is, well, we always ask everybody this. Out of like all the anime that you worked on, what would you say is kind of like your top 5, I guess, right?
That I've worked on?
Not that, actually, yes, that you
Yeah.
worked on, and also
Oh.
just like your top 5 in general, like that you like.
Oh yeah, I have that list right
Got
here. That's a good question. I would say, I think maybe like my top 3 or 4. Actually, I do have a list of all the shows I've worked on,
Okay.
but I
Can
need
we
to.
get that list?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I want to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Da, 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 da.
And do you remember every character you play? From like everything you've done?
Sometimes. I was telling Martine about this. So you know, like the Wikia pages, like the anime Wikia pages. We don't make those. Someone else
Yeah, he was
does
telling
it.
me that.
Yeah, so they have that, which is great. So I could send you that link.
That's
too.
cool too, though.
I would say probably like my top 3 would be Eminence and Shadow, Yurusei Yatsura, Seiki Relo Zeron, which is like one of my favorite animes. It's from like the 90s. They've done like a revamp. I can go on and on and on and on and on about it.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's probably like my favorites that I've done.
You were also one of the more recent shows that have come out. You were also in Oshinoko, right?
Yeah, I played like a Walla characters. I played one character named Mana for like 5 seconds, but like I'm so
Still
proud of her. I love her.
That's super cool because that's like it's a
That's
really big
dope.
show that blew up this year. You
Yeah,
know,
and like
just,
I
getting to
like
work on something like that.
yeah, and also like the talented like Jack Stansberry and Natalie Real. Like the cast is stacked.
Yeah, no,
It's a
definitely.
fat stacked cast.
That's cool. It's cool people to like get to
Yeah,
work with.
it's
and see.
incredibly talented actors too, especially for that show. A gorgeous show too. Like just even recording, I literally would be like, "Oh God, I'm supposed to say my line." I'm just staring at the screen of like what I'm seeing. I'm like, it's a really beautiful show.
Do you when you record, do you always go to like their studio and record? Because I know I've seen a lot of voice actors that have almost their own studio at home and they like kind of do their recordings and then just send it off. Do you do more of that?
I actually go to the studio to record at Sentai. I know some more of like the bigger top voice actors, they usually have like a home. I do have like a home studio. It's called my closet. If I just do any auditions
Oh, but
in
it
there.
works. It cancels out a lot of sound.
But I mainly just go into the studio. I like going into the studio anyway. I'd like to have that face-to-face interaction of just in the booth of like with my director and like the audio engineer as well.
It's that energy, the ambiance,
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
I was actually really shy being in the booth because like it'd been so long of like acting. So when I first started going, like one of my directors, Shannon, shout out to him, he would like make me do like these vocal exercises. He's like, you can talk into the mic, like you're not gonna break it. He's like, just talk loud. And I'm like, no. And he'll get really close to the glass and he'd be like, all right, what are you mad about today? And I was like, he's like, what do you do for your job? I was like, I work remote. I work for a law firm. He's like, okay, who made you mad at work today? Was it a customer? Was it your boss? And I'm like, I don't know, like, and he like gets me
tries to,
gets
get you-
me
get
out
you
of
riled
it.
up.
And then he's like, okay, we're gonna start yelling. And I'm like, we're gonna yell? No. So then he'll like do like these screaming exercises with me to like get the energy going. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's a good way to like develop that, and it's good that
Yeah.
he can kind of help you get to that. Like,
Yeah,
direction.
no, all the directors at Sentai are amazing and they're fantastic, and I like working with all of them, and yeah, they're great.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you asked about my like top
And then
5
your top-
favorites.
Yes, I am very.
Yes, I do have that list, and then I also have like my honorable mentions and my recommendations
Go
as
for it.
well.
Yeah. Lay it on us.
My number 1 is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I am a huge Ava fan, like
Okay.
huge. My favorite unit is Unit 8. It's the pink one with Mari. She's my
Ooh.
favorite. So I have like 3 or 5 figures of her in my apartment. I also have like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen like the Art Picasso what is it? I think it's like they're like alpacas. They're like the little fuzzy alpacas that you see at like cons.
Oh.
They're like really big and cute and pink, and they have like a cute little smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 3. I actually have 6. I have 3 of them that are units 0, 1, and 2 from Evangelion. And they sit on my couch, and then I have like little mini ones like of unit 8 and like 2 of the angels. Yeah. So I'm a huge Eva fan. I'm a huge Eva fan because of like the Japanese composer Shiro Sugisu. Like he's my favorite like Japanese composer ever. We can go into music theory later, but that's a whole other topic. Full Metal Alchemist, the original.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I've never heard that take before because she said Full Metal Alchemist. I was like, oh hell yeah!
And then
like,
you expect Brotherhood. I'm like, I do like Brotherhood. I won't say that it's bad. It's great, and it actually follows the manga. And we all know the original didn't because it wasn't finished. But I was telling Martine about how I liked its take on how it ended, just because it fits. Like I think it's still a good like way of storytelling, of still keeping that element of like fantasy and dark matters and issues and themes, and then it goes into the movie Ishinball. So
it fit better, like the story that it was telling, you know.
It fit really well.
Yeah.
Like it could, like Full Metal Alchemist could have gone in that direction, and I don't know like how like the art direction, like the direction of the show would have been at that time if the manga did finish, but I kind of like that she played into doing it that way. Like what if I did the story this way, like kind of like a possibility.
Yeah, kind of like a whole different route for the story to go on. 'Cause I still have yet to see the original. I've only seen Brotherhood like 3 times.
It's definitely worth watching.
And and that's what everyone tells me too. So now I want to just to compare, because if I love it so much, I want to see like what changes they made. How do I like those changes compared to the original from the manga, right? And also the art style. Not that it's completely different, but it's a little like almost vintage, like more vintagey, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like
a little older.
It's like watching what is it? Is it 90s Hunter x Hunter?
Kinda, yeah. It's like watching like the 90s,
like 2000s, like early 2000s art is like much different than like past to like 2010 and
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah. Because it was a major leap in that.
Yeah, definitely. My other one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm a huge JoJo stan. I see a thumbs up.
we steadily push Martine to try to get him to watch it.
Oh my god!
Remember the whole art style thing that I told you about?
Oh, but it's so good.
It stands out.
It's so good.
I know.
It's unique, bro.
I probably will love it. I'm scared that I'm gonna love it, and that's why I don't want to watch it.
Don't be scared of anime.
Embrace fear, Martine.
Embrace the fear. You'll love
if it pulls a fucking One Piece on me, it's game over.
Oh my god!
I don't want it to be like that.
It's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get past Stardust Crusaders,
and that's what everyone says.
You're good.
Yep.
Always.
It's the only part that really slows down.
Okay, and it's still going too, right?
Yes.
Personally, me and him just think Stardust Crusaders, like it just drags.
Really?
I mean,
I know.
The majority of the time they're in the desert.
Do y'all like part 4 more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody likes part 4 more.
I
do like part 4, but I love part 5. Part 1. I mean, yeah, it started it all. It's
it
great.
started it off.
Yeah.
It was the whole like vampire, like he's a monster trope.
Yeah.
It was great.
Good.
It was so
great.
awesome.
Yeah, I liked part 5 a lot.
Part 5 is good.
Just because
Part
they're
5 is
Italian
really
and they're insane.
They are insane.
And part 6 is great too. Yeah.
I love part 2. Caesar.
Oh no, don't. And then
You say that a million times. I didn't
Yes.
know that it was from JoJo's. You just randomly yell out Caesar sometimes.
and you're just like, I wonder what that is. You should watch it. You'll know why.
Yeah, but I know better than to ask. Hey, Emery, what's that from?
And then number 4 would be Devilman Crybaby.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yes.
wow.
I see another
seen
thumbs
that yet?
up.
No, I've not.
Oh
He
my god.
hasn't.
Dude, it is an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
It's a catalyst for a lot of dark themed anime because it started like in the 70s. Yeah, it started in the 70s, and then there's the original anime, I think in like the 80s, 90s, which is the anime voice acting for that in English is hilarious because it's like it's supposed to take itself seriously, but it's like, this is really bad.
Yeah. It's
bad in an enjoyable way, or just
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in an enjoyable
Okay.
way.
'Cause,
Like, I didn't watch the original, I just watched like those takes of the English voice acting. I was like, wow, this was really bad.
It's good.
It's good.
No, I've always heard like great things about that one too, and y'all have you've pushed for it. I guess just not as much as I think sometimes, because we'll talk about it for a little bit and then we forget, and then
There's some parts of it though that I can definitely see like turning you off.
Well,
You think so?
it's one of those things. Though, it's like it's one of
the
those shows
first
you're
episode is a
eventually
lot.
gonna watch.
probably
Mhm.
Yeah.
the list that I have is
It's
never
inevitable.
ending. It's inevitable. Fucking. I started when I met these guys. I had watched 2 anime, and now I'm up to like 20 something probably.
No, you're like in the 30s, maybe 50s.
Just be prepared to see a lot of people die.
You
and
have
like,
no
like
idea
skewered
how
and
long
strung up.
It took
In
us
terms
to
of
get him
lore,
to
I
watch
think I'm
Soul
completely
Eater.
desensitized.
Okay, then you'll be
Really?
He
fine.
just recently watched it.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
For which one?
Soul
Yeah, I'm gonna throw
Eater.
you under the bus.
Oh, it's
Oh.
so good.
That's such a good one too.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't put I put fave top 5s. I didn't even put a number 5. I just went into honorable mentions. I would say Soul Eater.
5 is
or,
where
like,
it gets hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it does. Yeah, we mentioned it flips a lot.
It does.
I would say Soul Eater. I put in my honorable mentions like Inuyasha, Code Geass,
Mm-hmm.
Hellsing Ultimate, Soul Eater, and Kill la Kill.
Oh, Kill la Kill's
Okay.
amazing.
That's another one
Amazing
that I
show.
get around to.
By Studio Trigger. It's
Yeah,
such a good
dude,
show.
That's
Yeah.
you're missing out on that.
Listen,
Well,
man,
he
I watched
just,
the comic on
started.
so
He's just an anime baby. Like he's new to all of this too.
yeah.
Call them out.
You're an infant.
I'm going as fast as I can. Okay.
He got really big into anime during COVID.
Yeah.
I like to formally refer to them as the worst generation.
It's a
Just a bunch of fucking TikTokers.
yeah. It's a play on like the One Piece.
Yeah,
stuff.
they don't know how the struggle was in like middle school of watching anime and reading manga. Like the lunch table is like, what are you reading?
Mm.
Reading a manga. Oh my god, you're such a fucking loser. And it's like, what?
No,
So
hold
many
on,
people
hold on.
come up to you like,
What?
you know, you're reading that book backwards, right? Like,
Yeah,
That's
like why
how
does it
it's
have
read.
pictures? Is that a boy or is that a girl? You know.
Yeah, shit like that.
I had a friend in high school who went up to me and my best friend Megan, and he was like, y'all read like manga and like anime and stuff, and we're like, yeah, like we like that. He's like, oh, I couldn't tell. And Megan goes like, what would have given it away that if we did? And he's like, well, your hair's not greasy. Oh,
Damn.
oh.
Oh, that's awful.
I was like,
yeah.
thanks.
It's like that's
Question.
the stigma? Okay. Oof.
That's rough.
That is, man.
Totally stereotyped. 100%.
Did weebs not used to shower back in the day?
That was
Oh.
the stereotype.
There was some whenever you went to like Books a Million or like Barnes and Noble and like
Mhm.
the anime section, and like the weebs are just there and they yeah
It wasn't.
I
or
mean,
like going to cons like like when you were like a teenager and it's like I see, it's like, oh sweetie, it's okay, like I get it, it's okay, like you
You can do better.
you
It's
can do
okay.
better. It's
It's
okay.
okay.
I get it, things happen, things happen, that's okay.
Sometimes your favorite character dies.
Yeah. That's why, yeah.
That's exactly why.
They're the reason.
Okay, like how do you feel about kids running in the hallways, Naruto running?
Oh, I saw that a lot.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah,
a
same.
lot. Oh, that was you. Aw. It happens.
Naruto running into Area 51. I remember that whole thing.
Oh my god, that's such a.
Yeah, no. I remember
Or
seeing
when
that. It was
people
fucking
in
hilarious.
Chicago. Do you remember when, like in Chicago, when people were gonna Naruto run, like
bridge.
like the
or something?
bridge,
Yeah, I do.
or like the bean, like yeah, like yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. Honestly.
I like the new trending run.
Which one?
What
The,
is
the,
That's the
Titan
Titan
runs?
run.
Oh.
That's
That
this
is a
generation's
good-
Naruto run.
Oh, it definitely
Oh
is.
yeah.
Oh yeah, kids would Naruto run like in high school for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not so much college, but you know,
Or maybe they were just too fast and you didn't see them.
probably.
It's because they've
Yeah.
been practicing.
They've been practicing all through high school. They nailed it by the time they were in college.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Sense.
All right.
No, I never Naruto run, so I'm good.
I never Naruto run in high school. I definitely did it in like elementary,
Oh, for
junior
sure.
high,
That's
like the
fine.
first year of junior high maybe, but you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was also like we were actually on the playground scrapping.
That's an acceptable
Yeah.
location to do it. And an acceptable age. But,
Yeah. After that, no.
out of all of the ones that you've seen, and I know that like you have your number ones, which ones do you think are like the best, shows that you think anyone should watch or like everyone should give a chance to at least?
I mean, like number one, I would say like Neon Genesis, just because of like the cultural significance of anime. Of it's
Oh, yeah.
referenced a lot. Same thing with Akira as well. Like
Mhm.
that's
Oh,
also a
yeah.
huge like pop culture reference and
Yeah, big
like
time.
anime and media, especially here in. I don't know if y'all seen Nope.
Nope, like the movie Nope?
Mhm.
No, I have not.
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
That's the one, the Jordan Peele one,
The
right?
Jordan Peele
I never got around to
film.
watching that one actually.
Okay.
I watched his first two though.
Yeah, there's a lot of like references in there from like anime as well. Like
Oh,
as I was
wow.
watching, I was like, this is from like significance of like Akira and Neon Genesis and like other animes as well,
Okay.
which had like a heavy influence of like the film as well.
Yeah.
It's cool getting to see references like that in like modern movies and TV here, because like we had talked about a long time ago when the new Creed movie came out, the Michael B. Jordan directed
Oh
one.
yeah.
There were a lot of anime references there because since it's about like boxing.
He's
Yeah,
Michael
of
B.
how it
Jordan.
was shot, right?
Yeah,
of like the
he's-
fighting sequence of
he's a
like
big
how,
anime fan.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's a huge like shonen fan, and he said that what was it? How the fighting scenes were shot of like having these internal monologues within
Yeah.
the film, like he liked that so much in shonen anime that he was like, I want this like brought into here just
Yeah.
because I like how it brought the story even more together.
Oh yeah, because like I've seen it several times. There's some like you can take it almost like frame by frame, and it's like looks like identical to the Dragon Ball fight.
Oh yeah, like
The
final
Goku versus Majin Vegeta fight.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I do like seeing that.
He
like,
picks him up by his hair.
no.
No, they do like the
Okay. Okay.
You know when they do the cross blow?
like when they both
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how Trunks and Goten.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
All right.
No, and that's a cool
That's
shot
cool.
to see like in real life too, like in an actual boxing match, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, I would say like Neon Genesis, Akira, even Lupin the Third.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that has a huge like significance on media as well, because like a lot of the illustrators that you know today, like anybody from like Studio Ghibli, like they all started with Lupin the Third.
Mhm.
A lot of them did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you can see like kind of like their start, like they're like this is from like a video essay of like Studio Ghibli like animation of like it's the Michael B. Jordan of like illustrators. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
That's freaking cool. I love that you watch those video essays about stuff because I'm a huge nerd.
I said
about
Michael
that
B.
guy.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael
Michael
Jordan.
Jordan.
He
Just drop the beat,
He,
you're
may-
good.
Okay. What-
he likes anime. He probably plays
We'll fix
really
it in
good
post.
at basketball.
All right.
Yeah, fix it in post.
No,
Michael Jordan.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's crazy that you watch those videos essays. And I think it's cool because like there's so many anime that are complex enough to merit like a solid video essay that can like deconstruct the entire plot structure and like foreshadowing things like that. And like what we had talked about before is like something that got me into anime was the fact that there were shows like that weren't just, you know, Naruto and Dragon Ball Z that was just about the action and everything, which I enjoyed, but stories that are more philosophical, like Full Metal Alchemist, for example.
Mhm.
I love that. You know, it's not even about the action; it's like the political message behind it, and just
I'm so silly. Attack on Titan, one
And
of my
Attack on
other
Titan.
favorites.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Exactly. Yeah, like those shows are super fucking deep, and yeah, it's an anime, but it's so much more than that too. It's telling a really unique story that I don't think gets told in modern like TV and film sometimes.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli with Hayao Miyazaki, with all of his like personal references made into his films as well. The biggest one that I saw in like one of the video essays was Howl's Moving Castle is just basically like a movie called Brief Encounter. And he referenced this movie because, the documentarian who referenced this is because of he's never seen a film of like how animation has captured eyes. And there's a scene in Brief Encounter where the two main characters are talking, and like the male character is talking about his passion, and like his eyes lit up, and like the female character was like, she's like, I just caught a glimpse of something in your eye. And he's like, what is it? And she's like, for a moment, you seem like a little boy. And it's the same significance of like how when he talks to Sophie of his
How
like,
they're able to.
how like that captured moment of like art. And it's just like a beautiful illustration of like how human emotion is like captured in that.
The blink of an eye almost.
Yeah, and like it just in animation as well of like, because like some people are like, oh, it's just anime, it's just 2D, it's like,
The cartoons.
but
Oh my
it's just that precise moment of like, there's that human element that's brought into animation. I think that's why I appreciate art so much, because my Nana was a painter, and I just liked how much she brought art into my mom and all of her kids' lives, and just like how art can be brought out. And then I try to get my mom to watch anime, and she's like, it's cartoons. And I'm like,
Oh no,
Mom, you don't
trust me.
understand.
It's possible you can break them.
I've cried over a field of flowers. Don't even.
We've
don't
cried
even
over
know.
a boat. Like, you don't even know.
Our dad is currently caught up with One Piece and is rewatching it in dub because that's how he started it. He got to the point that like there was no more dub, so he had to switch to sub. The dub's been catching up, so he's been watching that. And now my mom is also watching One Piece. She's like roughly like 50, 60 episodes in.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I can't get my mom to watch anything with me remotely animated. She's like, it's a cartoon. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I made her watch Howl's Moving Castle, and she's like, Billy Crystal? And I'm like,
Oh my God.
really? That's your takeaway?
Jesus Christ.
So we got like the anime list. Is that also like, are there mangas out there that you might put higher than an anime that's out?
Oh.
So like
Oh my God.
I love Black Clover. The anime is some of the biggest joy I've ever had in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
But personally, I have never read anything better than Magi.
That's the one that I
The
was-
Magi manga
Yeah.
is hands down one of my favorite things I've ever read, and I put it higher than Harry Potter.
Wow.
You can ask anybody in this room. That's a bold fucking statement coming out of my
Considering
mouth.
the fucking.
I have the Deathly Hallows tattooed in the back of my neck and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's a super fan.
Yeah.
Like,
Super fan.
Wow.
I easily
growing
watch
up,
it.
he was waiting for the book to be released, like at
Yeah.
the store.
Like I was at like a
Ooh.
midnight release for
Cosplay,
the
like
seventh book.
ready. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good question, because I stopped reading manga for just the longest time, just because it was just easier to just watch anime. But my favorite, and it's not an anime, and it should be, it's called Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage. It's like one of my favorite mangas I've ever read. It's only 10 volumes, and I bought the 10th one, and I refused to read it
Oh,
You don't want it to
I
end?
don't want it to end.
I
It's
get
one of my favorite mangas, and it was like they had like preview, like they had 4 episodes of the 4 main characters, and I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get an anime. That was like probably 13 years ago.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, and I think my other all-time favorite would be D. Gray Man. Like, that's one of my favorite mangas I've ever read. It's still going. It's a little slow right now because the illustrator was diagnosed with health issues, so she took like just like all of them, which is very sad.
That's a
So
very
big
used to
hiatus
right here now.
for a lot
Yeah.
for a long time, and I follow her on Instagram, and she's like posted volumes like months after, but I see her posting a lot about her cat, and I'll text Megan, I'm like, "Ugh, she needs to stop playing with these cats, and like she needs to give me a volume now." But that D. Gray Man, like I've reread that like 3 or 4 times. Like that's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, wow.
I would say, yeah, those are like my 2 favorite mangas. Oh, and Soul Eater. I would say those 3. I loved the manga for Soul Eater. It was great.
I know.
Read it.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone.
I was gonna say you said you were reading it.
I was, and then I got COVID, so.
We're not gonna point. Say what?
Oh my God.
Who do you swoon over that if you could meet in real life, you would just swoon?
Oh God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Loaded question.
That is.
so-
Oh my God.
Funny Lord
So
doesn't
many
have a
people
mic.
are flashing in
There's
her head
like
right
so
now.
many. Oh my
In
God.
case the audio didn't pick it up, Bunny Lord asked, "Who is like a character you just absolutely swoon over?
If you can meet like in real life.
Like if you could meet them in real life?
Oh God. Okay. Like in high school, my favorite one, his name is Lavi from D Gray Man. He was this orange-haired kid with an eye patch and smoked cigarettes and had a little tiny hammer that would grow into like a giant hammer. And I'm like, wow, that's the love of my life. Or like Aizen from Bleach. Like honestly, any man from Bleach. Let's be real. Tai Kubo made.
I know it.
Wait, what did you say?
Grim
Yes,
fucking
absolutely. Any of the Orang cars, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, they're all so
Byakuya, like,
Oh yeah.
honestly, any man from Bleach.
Any character from Bleach at this point.
Have you been watching 1,000-Year Blood War?
I am.
Oh,
I'm
we-
a couple episodes behind, but I am watching
We
it. And I
literally
read the
just
manga too.
Caught up like this
Oh,
week.
today?
Yeah, Martine's a
Oh.
couple episodes behind, so he like
Not
came
on
up.
Bleach. No, on Bleach I'm good.
Oh, you're good on Bleach? Oh no, yeah, that's Jobless. That's right. That's right.
No, Bleach has been fucking killing
Bleach has
it.
I'm
good.
so happy that it's back. I was
Yeah.
like, so we talked about like the big 3. I talked to him about it because he wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
So when the big 3 happened was like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece because of distribution to Adult Swim. And so when they all came out, I was a Bleach girly, 100%. I tried to get into Naruto, but when I tried to get into Naruto, I was like, he's kind of annoying. And then I tried to get into One Piece, and I was like, it's not that it's annoying or bad. It was a little too goofy for me. And I was like, I'm mature. I'm gonna watch Bleach. So
Okay.
It was the
Okay.
more edgy of the 3.
it was the more
so-
edgy.
It
And
is.
I was like,
It is.
I like
Yeah.
edgy, and these men are hot.
He's so serious. I like that.
Yeah, he was pretty like Ichigo's probably like the
Yeah.
most like normal out of the 3 like big 3 protagonists. So, you know, and when you said orange hair, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was really in any anime man, like orange hair, eye patch, smoke cigarettes. I was like, ugh, dreamboat. So in love with them.
You watch Black Clover?
No, I don't.
Oh, you would love Captain Yami.
He doesn't have
Really?
orange hair.
No
orange
It's
hair,
the
but
only
smokes.
thing he's missing.
But smokes.
Smokes. You got that rugged, just
beefcake.
That's
Mm.
that's daddy.
He
You
got
know.
an eye patch.
He doesn't have, but
He doesn't have
he
that.
smokes cigarettes.
Yeah.
Don't smoke cigarettes.
No,
Like,
no,
like
no.
in front of me. That's gross.
Kids out there, you heard it here.
Yeah, no, like fictional
Unless you have
men.
orange
It's
hair.
like, oh, that's so sexy, but ooh, lung cancer. Mm.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by G Fuel. Now, I love G Fuel. I use it pretty much every day. Gets me through the day at work. It's instead of drinking coffee, I drink that. You know, when I get home, I'm tired. I'm trying to game with the boys. I get some G Fuel.
Right. And if you click our link in the description, you can get 10% off of your order. And if you make sure to use our code spoiler warning, you can get an additional 10% off of your order. So make sure to click that link, use our code, and enjoy these brand new flavors from G Fuel like Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan, and Naruto Sage Mode. Thanks again to G Fuel for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, any man from Bleach. I'm trying to think of video games too. Yeah. Definitely from Bleach.
Did you play Breath of the Wild? Or?
Yes, I finished Breath of the Wild. I'm on Tears of the Kingdom right now.
All right. What about
Yeah.
Link? He
Oh,
was
Link?
Pretty. He was pretty.
Short King, you know, he's very pretty.
She's not wrong.
Hey, I love my short kings.
They made him taller.
Also, how old is he? How old is he supposed to be? Because sometimes I'm like,
In this one, no
I'm
idea.
Thousands of years.
He was-
Hundreds. who
True.
knows?
Yeah.
but I'm like, you have the, you're like a 16-year-old. I don't know. Mm.
He looks like he could be like maybe 18, 19. Like,
He's very short.
okay.
It just
Oh, are you
scares
taking that one
me.
personal, buddy?
No, absolutely not. I'm average height. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
What
man.
country?
Listen, okay?
I was kidding.
No, you're not.
Speaking of video games, I actually got to voice in one.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
dope.
called Labyrinth of the Galeria,
Okay.
and it's
Sounds cool.
like is it an MMO or something like that? But
MMORPG?
yeah, and it was really cool because I had my director, and then I had the engineer, but then I was on a Zoom call with 2 other people, with the distributors of the game from Japan, who were working, coordinating with it. And so how voice acting goes with video games is really interesting because I got to play 3 playable characters. So I got to do like the ha, ha, Like,
Oh, that's so cool.
Which was really fun. And it was really challenging because it was my first time doing it. And I was like I literally was like working up a sweat because it was like next. So basically what you do, you don't have any like video or gameplay. It's like maybe you have your character of like who you're playing. And basically you have an Excel sheet of all the lines. You'll hear the Japanese voice actress first, and then you'll do 2 takes, A take and a B take. So you do both of those simultaneously, and then they're like, okay, B, next, here, do, repeat, go. Okay, B, okay, A, okay, yeah, let's do another one.
So
okay,
like a
C.
vision test kind of thing?
Basically, yeah.
Option 1?
Option 2, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like very fast paced, and then I had to change it because it was 3 characters. So like 2 were women and 1 was a boy, and I was so scared to do the boy voice because I hadn't done one in so long. So my friend Jonathan was like, "Are you ready to do your boy voice?" And I was like, yeah, definitely. Oh my God, I haven't done it in so long. Oh my God, I was like literally like holding myself up to like stand up straight and like open my whole diaphragm and just like, okay, go.
Like lower the register more, basically.
No,
Or
it
how
was
does that work?
higher. Most women play like who play boys are at a higher octaves because most men can't play a
Fair,
boy
fair.
if it's like a younger child, you know.
Yeah.
It was like a
Gotcha.
child.
Okay, gotcha. If it's like
Yeah.
a younger kid, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Can we get a preview of that one?
Oh God. I don't.
I'll let you. Don't have to. You don't have to. I just it was the question.
This
I'm
man's so bold.
Blinking out.
He's like not to put you on the
Okay,
spot.
act. And I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna decline to say
Okay,
that.
okay. That's fine. Then we're gonna discuss a massive elephant in the room.
Oh, I'm so scared.
I'm sorry you can't come on this podcast and not have watched One Piece without me personally bullying you.
I 100%.
That's what I do.
Are you planning on watching the live action?
Oh my god!
It's only 8 episodes.
I don't know.
It's only 8 episodes.
We've only seen one
I
episode.
do
It's
love
so
the
good.
cast. I've watched all their interviews and like the main actor meeting Oda and like saying I'm glad you were born. Like that's such a gift
Yeah.
to hear from a director, especially because he like also watched One Piece and he loves it and he basically emulates Luffy very well. And just to be like, I'm glad you were born. And he's like, wow.
I'd burst into tears right there.
Especially
would
for
too.
something that's so influential on your life.
Oh yeah.
And as an actor, just to hear that from a director, it's like if it's like Hideaki Anno said to me, like, I was glad you were born and I like did something for Ava, I'd be like, I'm going to literally die.
Turn into a puddle.
I literally just evaporate.
Yeah,
I just
for
don't
real.
exist anymore.
You're happy I'm alive. Great. Call 911 because I'm about to die.
It's really funny because like I've watched like a couple episodes of One Piece and I've like heard some stuff through the grapevines, and then all my friends are all into One Piece. So I have a work study with my friends and they made me watch 1065 that episode, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch this. I don't know what's going on. I was like, look at the animation. Look at
I
this.
guarantee you that's probably the Zoro. episode.
I feel like
That
that's
has to be the
Zoro
Zoro
versus.
episode.
one of them. I don't know.
Was there a bunch of
Like
fire
and
dragons?
shit.
They were fighting a giant lady, and there was a guy.
Oh my god.
There was a guy that has like a hat.
Oh,
with
that's the big
spots.
mom.
Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like, so like the
Man.
gum fruit thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, he ate one, and I was like, I thought there were only like 5.
No.
He's like,
there's
no, there's like
hundreds.
hundreds, and I was like, oh,
But every
But
single one of them
each-
is like super unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
are super like. Really.
There's a jacket
Like-
jacket
Yeah.
fruit.
There's a jacket fruit.
and you can put the guy on, and now he controls your body.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
So
the
dumb.
wildest shit you've ever seen. It's so funny.
I mean, One Piece is just D&D. Like that's literally all
Yeah.
it is.
it would
It's
make a
just
great D&D. We've tried.
I played like a campaign that was like my friend was super into One Piece, and I was like, this is very One Piece like core. And he's like, yeah.
We need to meet this friend.
Yeah. I'm gonna need this person's information, please. Okay, so like, Okay, that's probably not what I would have used to show off animation.
The 65
Personally,
one.
no.
But the thing is, like, it doesn't matter how good the animation is because remember we did the same thing with my brother's friend. His name is Joel. He had heard about One Piece but didn't really care for it, and then he joined in. We were doing like a watch party on Discord, and we were watching I think like 10:15 or something. Like it was a really like big episode with crazy good animation, and all of us were freaking out. But because we know the context of it and everything, and he watched it, he was like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know what's going on. So like, it doesn't really make sense to show them like the top tier animation if they have to wait 1,000 episodes to get there.
Buddy, it worked on you.
That's not necessarily true. You could have shown me Snake Man. That's way better animation than
That wasn't out yet.
Rosa. When I, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yes, it
Wait, was
was.
it?
Yeah, it was in Wano.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were in Wano when I met y'all, so
Yeah.
100%.
Are you sure? Because he knew about Reverie before we did. Oh, we're getting off topic. I'm sorry.
No. What it was is like we saw Snake Man because it 100% was after Whole Cake.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like the
100%,
Snake Man. No, I remember
100%.
Eric had told me about the Snake Man stuff when I was working with him, so it's definitely
Okay. Fair.
But like, it doesn't really make sense in my opinion to show someone that. You have to like figure out, okay, what do you like? I bet you there's something there, like in One Piece, that you'd gravitate towards because it's that big of a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of my friends are illustrators, so we just gush about art anyway. So yeah, you can
Okay.
hook me on to like, if it's really good, I'm like, ooh, this is pretty. I want to watch it.
I got it. If you like art, you would really appreciate all of the different islands and how unique they look and how like well drawn out they
Yeah.
are, whether it's in the anime or even in the manga. Like it's, for example, there's one island called Water 7. It's essentially like Venice, Italy as a freaking island, and it's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous
And
island.
it's not like just an island that's flat out. It
has
it's
levels
tiered
to
out.
it,
Ooh.
yeah. And this island specifically, it suffers from something called Aqua Laguna, which is like every now and then where like a giant wave comes in. She's not gonna remember.
Just
Okay, that's
talking
fair.
about this morning. And the Puffing Tom, they have a sea train. They
do
a sea train.
that runs through
Ooh.
there. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%. They ripped that from. God, I'm dropping the ball. Spirited Away. Thank you.
Oh, the train scene.
Like
Aw.
on the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, like it's so intricate, like how well it's built, and they have those like multiple layers to protect themselves when like the water rises and stuff. It's super cool. But then you can go to like a completely different island. Right now we're in like a pseudo Japanese like, style island, and it's also beautiful, but it has its own like areas. You have like the capital, like the flower capital, which is gorgeous. You have like all of the architecture that you see, you know, even in modern history. But then you go like east and you have like the wasteland, and it's super well thought out. Like the world is enormous, and I just really appreciate how much thought he put into creating this enormous world. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. And the manga
No,
looks
his
fantastic.
mind is insane.
Oh.
The art and everything I've seen from it, even just like not from watching it, just because it's everywhere. It's
It's
huge for a reason. I just haven't watched it because like when I was a kid, I was like, I don't care. I like Bleach and I don't care for Naruto and blah, blah, blah. And when I told my best friend Megan, I was like, I think I might watch the live action. She was like, really? Now you're going to watch it? And I was like, I don't know. They look cool. And she's like, you're kidding, right? She's like, after all this time, I thought you were with me on this. I was like, I don't know.
No, I fully support watching.
I say you should watch it. If you like it, genuinely try to give the anime a try.
Give it a shot. It captures a lot of like the stuff that hooked us into it, like the comedy, but once it gets to like the more dramatic parts, like,
Yeah.
it covers a really major part early on that like if that doesn't do anything for you, then maybe it's just not the show for you, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
what I mean? And that's
I
fair.
appreciate not the look.
Oh,
Yeah, like
I
My
was confused. I'm sorry.
my friend Jordan, that just reminded me, he texted me. He's like, One Piece, let's go. I asked Megan if she would disown me if I started it, and she said you asked the same thing. I said, laugh my ass out. She's so mean. No, I understand like why One Piece is it's One Piece. Like you can't like diminish it. It's huge. It's everywhere. Like there is good stories. There's great art too that comes out from it. It's just really long. And it's a lot.
it
And I
is,
get it. I I get it.
The good thing is and what we've all learned is it's not a race to watch it. It is a lot of episodes, but
When,
that doesn't
when
mean
people
you
are
need to
like,
finish
"Oh,
it
I'm in
right
the
away.
700s or I'm in the 500s," and I'm like, "That's so crazy."
Okay, but like, say you take your favorite show of all time, right?
We must
Something
be
that you
insane.
love. There's no problems with it, and it ends. It's awful because you wish you just had more of it. This is one of those shows that like.
Which is crazy because of how long it is. Like, you're not the only person. Y'all are not the
It's
only
the
people
gift
that
that
keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are not the only people that are like, "Oh my God, once like I end an episode, I need more." And I was like,
Yes.
that's called an addiction.
100%.
It is.
Oh,
We're all
It is.
100%.
I wait weekly for
I
my
know when
dose.
he was showing me the studio and there was all the One Piece stuff. I was like, "Oh no, I don't think they're gonna like me."
We're good.
You like Bleach? We're good.
Yeah, I love Bleach.
If you came in here and you had not watched anything from the big three,
What if I wasn't an anime fan? But there are some voice actors that probably
That don't
don't like
watch it.
anime.
honestly,
Yeah.
I still would have really appreciated having you on, just because like that's a whole part of the industry that
Mhm.
we don't have any kind of like
Access,
access
yeah.
to like know about it and like understand it. Like
Yeah, it's a mystery world of like how it started and like where it came from. Like I was doing like a little research of like Sentai Studio used to be called AD Vision. That's how like distribution came into here. It started August 1st of 1992, and they used to have what was called the Anime Network, which is now High Dive. So it was the cable network that you could watch anime on, and then it turned into Hive Dive because everything went into streaming. That started, I don't have a date for that, but yeah, and then ADV stopped in 2009, and that was what we have Sentai Studio today. And of course, you have Funimation up in Dallas, which is now Crunchyroll. So originally Crunchyroll was like mainly in LA, but they moved their office to there. And a lot of voice actors like they do Crunchyroll and Sentai. This isn't like some bidding war, like
Let's go to the
ain't Sentai and your
that's good.
Crunchyroll. No,
Okay,
never.
That's good to know.
Yeah, some voice actors will drive down from Dallas, do some Sentai stuff, and then drive back up or opposite.
Fun fact: I don't know if you guys care to know this, but they are talking about putting a bullet train between Houston and Dallas.
I
I've heard
heard
that too.
that's been
Yeah.
in the works for a really long time, but I heard like a solid like it's
Yeah.
progressing.
It'll be approximately a 90-minute ride.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, we can take
Oh.
a day trip to Dallas. People think about
That's-
it. Think about this.
If
People
only
can
Dallas was fun.
think about this.
If you
People
like homeless people,
No,
it
but
is.
That's a good way for both cities to like be able to like think
No,
about it, man. You
because-
can go out there for
commuting
work.
and getting work. No, I'm
Yeah.
just being an asshole.
Yeah,
I know.
I
For
would,
no
I
reason.
would I would love for that triangle system to happen because like a lot of actors here in Houston travel to Austin as well for film work out there. Drive up for a day and come back. Same thing in Dallas too. If you get booked for any stage shows up there too,
Yeah.
definitely.
Boom.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be amazing.
The worst part is like that's pretty much your mine kind of commute.
Yeah.
Basically,
kinda,
like
honestly.
with traffic and everything. All
Yeah.
I
that.
started looking for a job in Dallas.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I just
No, that's
you're-
super cool because it makes
no,
sense.
that's
If they're-
great.
There's studios up there. It makes sense for them to be able to commute back and forth, especially if there's not like any kind of bidding war, like you mentioned. You know, if they.
Oh
just
yeah,
work
no,
with each other.
Like everybody does anime all over. It's not like some weird like what you stay with one studio forever or anything like
That's
that.
good.
Yeah.
No, it's better that way. That way you get like your whole like I don't know group of like talented actors, and you get the right actor for the right part. You know what I mean? Instead
Yeah.
of having to just like sacrifice because they're like, yeah, I can't go there because I'm with this studio. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's-
no, yeah,
Those
and
limitations are dumb.
definitely.
weirdly enough, I think they do that in Japan though.
Do they?
It's more of a like management agency.
It's
I'd
I
say.
think it's more of agency in Japan.
Gosh.
I've heard a little bit. Yeah.
Like, the voice of Luffy
Mhm.
never worked on anything like Naruto, or
No, but she did Dragon Ball.
but that's
Oh, because it's
That's
Toei.
what I was saying.
Yeah, it's
that's
Toei
right, I forgot
Animation.
about
Yeah.
that, yeah. Dang, I wonder. I wish they didn't have that because it'd be cool getting to hear her do more stuff. And like,
You know, they're-
show,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
she's great,
Mm.
especially after like the last month of episodes. Like some crazy shit has happened in One Piece, and we've really gotten to see like.
There's always
the
some crazy
extent.
shit happening in One Piece.
There's
This
this
is
meme.
This is the craziest shit so far.
Yeah, the meme
I
is
feel
always
y'all say
like.
that all the time. No, I'm joking.
Whenever you see it, it's like, dang, One Piece is crazy good this week. I send that meme every single week to my friends because it's always crazy fucking good. But in the anime, we've really gotten to see like the extent of her voice acting abilities, and
Mm-hmm.
she has killed it. Like I've never heard her take Luffy to like this extreme, and it just blew me away. I was like, wow, like I've been watching this show for so long now, and the fact that I'm still getting surprised at like her performance is fantastic. Like it's the coolest.
Yeah,
thing ever.
no, especially Japanese voice acting is amazing. Just seeing how like they work in studios
Mhm.
is phenomenal. Especially when so if you ever wonder if like, are you in the room with another person in like at Sentai? No, you just hear either the Japanese voice actress or you hear whoever was booked for that role. So then you can work off of that and you play with tone. If I come in for a recording, it's like nobody else has come in yet except you. And it's like, great, then I'll just work off of whatever's happening.
Mhm.
Of course, you get a breakdown of the scene and you can hear the tone of the other actors, right? But in Japan, when it comes to doing a scene with two people in it, they're actually in the studio together. So it works out, it plays out really well because you're bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, you get
and
that
it's-
chemistry.
That chemistry is in there as well. It reads a
Cool.
lot.
I can just see the voice actor of Luffy and Kaido.
This is going
Like, dude, you know they've been
all the
in the booth together for
That
a
and just the
while.
Straw Hats in general too. Like they have such good
Mhm.
chemistry that like you
Yeah.
can hear it in their performances.
Yeah.
They've been together for so long, and having that chemistry makes a big difference. I think it would be
Yeah,
cool to get to
definitely.
see that more like here because I think it would just up the
Yeah.
quality of dubs.
Oh,
So,
definitely. Yeah. And like sometimes shows at Sentai like end up on Netflix and Hulu as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So some shows actually do end up not just like on High Dive, but sometimes they'll go to, if like you get the rights to the show, like a Netflix rights to the show.
It's been a lot of like distribution rights. And
Yeah, it's
stuff.
just
like,
distribution.
For example, Hulu. We've talked about that a million times. That like Hulu has so much more anime than it ever.
I know. It used to have nothing. The only big thing they had was like Akira.
And now like
Yeah.
I watch most of my anime on Hulu.
On Hulu,
Because,
yeah.
like, they have Bleach. They have Jobless Reincarnation. A bunch of stuff.
Zom 100.
Zom 100. Well, Zom 100.
Attack on Titan.
It's on Netflix too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much more they're getting, and I think it's cool because I really hope that it just becomes more and more like normal, and like people would just stop calling it cartoons, and they'll just be more exposed to it. You know, like
Yeah.
more people should enjoy this kind of stuff, right? That's essentially the message.
Fun fact of, if I'm correct, I think the word cartoon is not in Japanese. That's why everything is called animation.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Isn't it like translated not Japanese cartoon, but Japanese animation, basically for
Mhm.
anime?
Yeah.
Because it's just animation, which is short for anime.
Yeah.
So like Shrek is an anime, King of the Hill
Yeah,
is an
like,
anime.
funny enough.
Yeah.
Funny enough, in Japan, they 100% sees the stuff we put out,
Mhm.
and dude, they like have fandoms over it just like we do.
There was
for
a
their stuff.
debate over what was better, the King of the Hill English dub or the Japanese
Yeah.
dub.
No
I
way.
gotta
Yes.
My
watch
favorite
this.
niche. Yeah.
Dude,
gotta
like
watch
watch
that.
100%.
That's hilarious.
They'll have conversations where it's just like, oh hey, have you seen this cartoon? It's just like, oh yeah, no, that's great, but you don't know shit about SpongeBob. Just be like, what do you mean SpongeBob is like classic SpongeBob? That's peak American animation right there.
Yeah.
Their newer stuff they're starting to fuck up.
Yeah, true.
They have conversations like that.
That's so
fucking
crazy.
hilarious.
Oh, here's a question for you guys. Do y'all count Avatar as an anime?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's like my
I will-
honorary anime.
We will die on
Yeah.
that hill.
It's got all of the elements in terms of like storytelling
Yeah.
that I look for in an
Yeah.
anime, you know, so it takes itself seriously.
Yeah, no, it's a
Absolutely.
great fucking story.
Did you watch Legend of Korra?
I
How
did.
did you feel about it?
I actually liked it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's
I liked the beginning, and then I did like.
I liked it. I did.
I enjoyed the ride. I just didn't like how Korra didn't change. She was just the same
Yeah.
stubborn person.
I didn't
the
like her
whole
as
time.
much as Aang for sure.
nobody's ever gonna
I,
be
I
angry.
was just more interested in seeing like their abilities expand.
That
Homie-
was pretty cool.
Homie
getting
started
like,
lava bending.
How everything got
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was
Metal
like,
bending,
all
lava
right.
building, bending.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then seeing all like the other airbenders.
Yeah, that was great.
You're getting to see more of
Yeah,
them because we
I
only
really
have
liked
them.
it. I liked it.
Have you heard about
was
the remix that they're doing with
Absolutely.
like Kyoshi and everything?
Absolutely. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah,
100%.
it'll be cool to get to see that again,
Mhm.
especially with like hopefully the traditional animation. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're doing the live action for Avatar too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Netflix, right? Is it still with Netflix?
I think so.
That's the last I heard.
You know, now I actually have a little bit
I
more
have hope. I
because
have
of the
hope.
fucking One Piece one. The fact that
Yeah.
this
Well,
one
that's
did
because
good.
because like Oda had full control over all of that, which was great. And the fact that he casted him because you made me laugh. Oh,
They're beautiful.
beautiful, gorgeous. Yeah, because the original creators of Avatar were having full on.
Yeah, I think they were
Yeah.
significantly more involved.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the best way to do a live action. I'll never think that there's a live action that can interpret an anime or any other show
Without its original source.
without the original
Its
source,
creator.
but also to like the perfect replica. Like you have to make some changes. And even like Oda acknowledged that too. He's like, for those people that are gonna watch this, there are changes. It's not gonna be identical, but we had to do it to fit it in like an 8-episode run.
It's
And at the
also
end of the day,
live
it still tells the
action,
same-
you know?
It tells the same story, you know, like in
Yeah.
that first episode we watched, it cut down a lot of stuff and fit
Mhm.
it all together. But by the end of it, it worked. I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is actually kind of cool. It's a different take on it,
Mhm.
but we still get from point A to point B. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
excited to see what they do with it. I think it'll be really cool. And if they take their time with it, I have hopes that it could actually be something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We take One Piece like religion in this house.
I heard.
I had to
And
prep
I
Ellen.
respect it.
So me and him can't watch an episode without each other.
That's
That's
so
It's been like that for years
cute.
now.
Tradition.
Aw.
Yeah. Like we're terrible. Like if somebody else, if like, you know, we brought other people in to do it, and like, you know, some people show up to do it, some people don't. High key, if nobody shows up, me and him don't give a shit.
We're watching it.
I love
And
that.
so we watched the live action on Thursday, I think.
Thursday
Yeah,
or Friday night.
yeah. So we watched it, and like, it was a good collective of us.
Mhm.
Like I FaceTimed
Oh, yeah.
him just so like we could be together while we watched it. Our other roommate, she watched the episode without us. Oh man, I made sure everybody in the household knew. So you know
She's banned.
Shunned.
she's shunned. Yeah,
She's
we
almost-
she's
she
banished.
finished it, right?
We banished her from the house today.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Dang, that sucks.
Oh yeah. Then she finished it.
Okay, great.
She already knew she messed up. She was like, "Well, I'm
She
already in the
plays
hole."
back
So.
great.
Yeah, she
Perfect.
just finished it. Called it full send.
Do you have anything for us, or is there something you like? You brought a whole notebook, so I mean,
Yeah, this was just more of like a breakdown of like the anime industry of like in Texas and like where it started and that and like why the majority of like your favorite English voice actors are all from Texas, just because all major anime voice acting is from Texas.
oh,
Yeah, that's pretty
Like,
cool.
a lot of them are from Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. Like a lot of them are from here.
That's
This is
cool.
Texas.
Yes.
yeah.
It's just getting better.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that is one thing that we did talk about, like how much better dubs have gotten than like back in the
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because like I mean, it's not that they were bad. They just didn't know what
day. It is
to
different.
do,
Yeah.
I guess? Question mark? I don't know. I would love to have been in that room just to see, but
It came off a little more cheesy, I guess. Like
yeah,
back
it's
in
a
the
little
day.
cheesy, but yeah, it's become more of an art form. It was just like, just record this anime and this is cool and it's fun, and then you get it out there so that people are able to watch it.
Yeah.
But like we have like a full team of translators that speak fluently, so they're able to translate the whole script for us. They'll even have like a breakdown in the script. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you guys like how we like record as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you get into the studio and basically you have your monitor and it's split into two. So you have the animation and you have your script. The script is in an Excel sheet. And I don't know if you've heard of like beepers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most common one of like you hear 3 beeps and then on the 4th one, the silent one is when you start talking. We don't work with beeps. It's just you go after like a couple seconds. So we have a time code of like each line.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to the director will be like, okay, we're going to go to like 141. It's like, here's your line. Here's the scene. I'll hear the scene back. I'll give it like a couple seconds and then I'll say my line. And it's like, okay, do we like that? Maybe not. Or we'll keep going. Like I'll do my lines or we'll go back and just hear and play back of that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So we work with time codes, but we don't have a beeper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've always seen like the behind the scene videos, and I've seen like
Those are like the bigger studios that
Gotcha,
use the beepers. I don't like those. I like being it's a little stressful. It's like, okay, what'd you think go?
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
I guess-
Sometimes when I'm in the studio, it's like, okay, like here's the time code. All right, I'll give it like a few seconds, and then I'm like, And then they're like, it's okay. Like you can just move it back. It's fine. And then it's like, slow down, take your pace, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
So yeah, so that's how it is. We have 2 screens, the anime and our script.
that's cool.
How long do the recording sessions usually last?
It depends on what it is. Like, if it's like a couple episodes, maybe an hour, I'll be in the studio. If it's like maybe like if you're a lead, it could be like a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did some shorts. Oh, I don't know. I'm supposed to talk about that. I don't know what those are out.
It's okay. We can.
I did something, and it was like 3 hours for like 2 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dang.
it varies then for project. to
It just
project.
varies, like how many lines you have, like because they use those lines of like, okay, number of lines, how many hours, how long is it going to take? It's going to take multiple days. It's going to take 1 day. How many hours?
Interesting. Okay.
Huh,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
that's so cool.
And I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a anime that's still kind of like ongoing that like is your dream anime to be a part of to like get to voice act in something
Ooh.
like a dream role or something in a show?
I would have loved to been in Bleach. I would love to be in Bleach. Like I love that show. Maybe Degreement if the animation like continues.
Yeah.
Would love to do that. I would love to be in Chainsaw Man. Like when the animation dropped, I was like, who do I have to talk to get into this? Like, I need to be in this. And I think I have a couple friends that are in that too. And I'm like, oh man.
Shit.
Yeah. So it's like 6 degrees separation of like, oh, I'm so close to like being there. But like I'm being patient. It's fine. I'm just kind of,
Oh, yeah.
because like, yeah, I'm still like new to the industry because I've only been in it for a year and a half, but doing voice acting for like 10-ish years.
No,
Like,
you know your shit and it's gonna translate.
I hope I do.
You definitely sound like it for sure. Oh yeah, like the way you talk, it sounds like you've been doing voice acting at least like for anime for years.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see all the new projects. You got to keep us updated with. Any
Yeah, please do.
projects you
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
shouting
always
you out.
I always announce whatever on my socials. So yeah.
Yeah, and make sure to give us that. We'll make sure to put Ellen's socials all in
Absolutely.
the description.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, Ellen. It's been great talking with you.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch any of the shows that I'm in, I play Epsilon in Imminence and Shadow on High Dive, Hitomi in Yurusei Yatsura, and a couple Wala in Oshinoko.
Yes.
That's so
So
cool.
definitely make sure to check those out.
Yeah.
Check out the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I'm not good at this. I don't know why you're letting me do this.
You started, bro.
Yeah, I know. I've had to do this one other time, like on my own, and I actually did nail it, but they'll never know. But yeah, make
You
sure to
can
check
edit and
that out.
post.
Exactly.
Apple
So
Podcast.
and Apple Podcasts, and make sure to join the Discord. Keep an eye out for our announcement for the episode 100 live podcast. And with that, I think we're good. Did I miss anything?
Alchemist out.
Alchemist out.
Ooh, Alchemist out.